go. All right, so, all right, guys. I want to talk to you guys about I want to talk with you guys about an experience of mine. How many of you guys in here have been to another country? What countries? What countries have we been to? Where we coming from?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Puerto Rico's not another country.
Oh, no, Canada, if it counts. It's kind of lame, but Canada.
Not so much.
Philippines. Yeah, no.
Philippines. All right. Okay. Well, when I was 16, I went to the UK.
Cool.
I traveled to England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
Ooh.
So definitely a fun time. When I was in Scotland, one of the coolest things we did was we rappelled down a castle. So here's the thing. I'm deathly afraid of heights. Alright? The only thing I think I can go on that's really, really high is a roller coaster. That's because I know I'm absolutely strapped in. Alright? So we're in Scotland, and they bring us to this big field. There's this huge castle, and they said we're going to propel down this castle. And at that point, I'm deciding I'm going to turn around, maybe sit at a tree and watch everyone else do it. But I wasn't going to do it. I didn't want to do it. They pushed us all up the stairs and into this spiraling castle staircase, and we got to the top, and they start hooking everybody into these ropes. And they see that I'm kind of in the back, just like chilling. I have fun. You know, that looks cool for you guys. You know, I'm looking down, and I'm about to throw up because it's so high. And they're like, George, no, it's totally fine. You're gonna be totally okay. Just come on, you know. And they get me hooked up, and they give me this little goofy looking helmet on, and you know I'm hooked up. And then I look down again, and I try to take the stuff back off, and I just changed my mind, and it wasn't working out. Eventually, they got the rope on me, and they got me to the side of the castle. And they said, George, it's okay. Take a risk. It's fine. And I'm like, you know, my mama never taught me to really take risks. You know, I'm not really into that right now. And they pushed me to the side, and they had me holding the rope. And they're telling me all this facts about the rope, about how, you know, it could hold like 5,000 tons or 5,000 pounds, and how I'm totally safe and they'll never ever break, and how there's someone up here holding the rope for me, so I'm completely safe. And all I'm doing is looking down at the bottom of this castle, and everyone looks like little ants waving at me. And so I close my eyes, and I said, okay, I'm going to take a risk. Let's take a risk. And I take the first hop down, and they let go some of the rope. And then they say, George, let go of the rope. So I let go, and I was hanging, and I was kind of spinning. And I'm looking down again, I'm looking up, but I'm not falling. And they said, you took a risk, and you didn't die, and you're okay, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. And so I'm hopping back down, and then when I get to the bottom, I'm quiet for a minute, and then I just blow up in all this excitement. Like, oh my goodness, that was so cool. Let's do it again. And they wouldn't let me do it again, partly because we didn't have time, and partly because they thought I was going to freeze up again when I got back up there. But, you know, I'm like screaming and yelling. I'm like, I can't believe I just did that, and I'm afraid of heights. I can't believe I just did it. I don't know what just happened, and it was an awesome, awesome experience because I decided to take a risk. I wanted to talk to you guys about a time where I want to talk to you guys about Jesus. I want to talk to you about a time where he asked one of his boys to take a risk. The story's in the Bible, and it's in the book of Matthew. Don't judge me. So I'm just going to read the story to you guys. And it starts in verse 22. It says, immediately Jesus made the disciples get into a boat and go to the other ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up to the mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid. Lord, if it is you, Peter replied, tell me to come out under the water. Come, he said. Excuse me. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. And he cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You of little faith, he said. Why did you doubt? So in this story, we have Jesus who told his friends to go to the boat and go out ahead of him. And Jesus took some time by himself. Afterwards, he came out, and instead of getting into a boat, Jesus walked on the water. How many people here can walk on water? No, you can't. You cannot walk on water. I can't walk on water. I'm telling you.
If I had wood shoes, I could walk on water.
Listen, let me tell you something. Go ahead and try it. Let me tell me how it went. None of us in here can walk on water, but Jesus did. And when Jesus was out there, Peter saw Jesus, and he wanted to make sure. And Peter was willing to take a risk in order to see that it was Jesus. And Peter said, Jesus, if that's you, tell me to come out to the water. And Jesus said, come. Jesus noticed that Peter wanted to take that risk, that his friend wanted to take that risk. And he said, come, take the risk. It's okay. You'll be fine. And Peter took that risk, and he stepped out on the water. And when he stepped out on the water, he was looking towards Jesus. But as soon as the winds came, and they blew, and they caught his attention, what happened? What did the story say?
He started to sink.
He drowned.
He sank, right? And Jesus called him, and he said, you of little faith, why did you doubt? Why did you doubt? What I want you guys to think about as we break up into knee to knee is, what is one risk that you've ever taken that turned out to be a really good risk, to be a really good choice? And I also want you guys to think about, what do you think it takes to take a risk with Jesus? What kind of belief and what kind of things in our minds and in our hearts do you think it'll take to take a risk and follow Jesus? So we're going to break up with our leaders now, and you guys, boys are boys, girls are girls, gotta get it popping. Break.